Hey guys, Crystal Grace here. Welcome back to another pick a card reading. This one is all about how are people currently viewing you. 3 piles to choose from. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. This card was representing a pile from another video. I kept putting it back in the deck and shuffling and it kept coming out. So I'm not sure. I'm curious to know if you did connect with that reading. Did you pick this card? Because it's just a bit strange that it just kept coming out. Okay, with that said, quick disclaimer while you're connecting with one of the cards. If a reading begins to trigger you or put you on a downward spiral, please opt off of the reading. That is never the intention that is set here. The messages will always find the right viewer. I do trust that. I see that in the comments. So if it doesn't resonate with your intuition, let it go. Let it fly out the fucking window, over the mountain, and be gone. So let's find out how people are currently viewing you. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. We have karma, destiny, and unknown. How are people viewing you? Look, obviously snakes are seen as more of a low vibrational energy, I would have to say. Like when I call somebody a snake, it's because they are like flying under the radar, so to speak, to bring somebody down in a way. So with the word karma and destiny here, I definitely feel like a lot of you could be in your karma era. It could be positive karma or negative karma that you're experiencing. I feel like with destiny, you are trying to figure out your destiny. Maybe you are on the path to your destiny. But with the fact that we have unknown here, I would have to say a lot of you may feel like your destiny is unknown. You are holding quite tightly onto something. This snake is very much wrapped around this branch here, and it's holding on for dear life. It's also in a swamp. Okay, so I kind of feel like those who have picked this pile, you could be in some kind of karmic event or karmic situation at this point in time. Maybe you have to be the snake in somebody's grass, maybe for your own protection. Maybe you are somebody else's karma. I don't know. I'm kind of picking up air energy here. So we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm just going to grab the book and see if there was anything in the book. Okay. Some believe that each of us is the master of our own destiny. That may be the case, but what if a tyrant takes control of the lives of innocent citizens? Can the people who have been enslaved change their destiny? Or maybe it must have been their fate. For a large number of people working with ruins, the presence of this symbol in the spread means that the querent is not yet ready to know the answer to the question asked. If we decide to explore the meaning of weird, we should expect the answers to be inconclusive and vague. So all you will read next, dear reader, is mainly our guesswork dictated by intuition. Yeah, I definitely feel like you have no idea what is going on at the moment. Are you receiving karma because you deserve the karma maybe? Or is this karmic repercussions from past life for some of you? Anything is possible right now for you guys is what I think. I think you could be in the calm of the storm. I think you could be surrounded by a lot of snakes. All right. Let's find out, how is pile number 1 currently being viewed? We're not going to use reversals. We're going to connect with the imagery on the card. Give me 5. How are you being viewed? We have the Two of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Ten of Swords, the Chariot, and the Nine of Wands. I am hearing Day and Night, that song, Day and Night. So Two of Pentacles gives me the impression like people could be viewing you as somebody who is, I would say, quite well balanced. You're a person who is making the effort to socialize, but also making sure you're home in time to be ready for the next day. You're definitely somebody who's taking quite good care of themselves. When I look at like her attire, it's quite classy. So people might see you as somebody who does spend time on their appearance, both inside and outside. Her complexion is quite on point as well. With the Ten of Swords here, he's like floating in water. And because we have a large moon here and here, I would definitely say people are viewing you as somebody who is quite attuned to their emotions. But everything seems to be well balanced here. I think people might even view you as somebody who could easily step over to the dark side, but you are more veering off to focusing on moving towards the light. So people could be viewing you as somebody who could be leaving behind an old sense of self, maybe one that was more of a party person, or a person that would be laid out at, like late at night, maybe a person working from a low vibrational energy as opposed to a high vibrational energy. I feel like people, how they're viewing you is that you're a person who's more seen in the day now than at night. There's something you're sort of releasing. Now with the Lovers here, I would say people are viewing you as somebody who is moving towards a connection. The Lovers here kind of gives me the impression people are viewing you as somebody who could have found their soulmate, somebody who is falling in love at this time with somebody who looks at you the way you look at them. You know, these two people are very much focused on each other. He looks very vampire-ish. Like people could be viewing you as somebody that could be in a state of, what do you call it? Hypnosis, you know, like she kind of looks like hypnosis, and he has those sort of vampire eyes. I don't know if you can sort of see that, but people could be viewing you as somebody who is taking action towards a relationship. Okay. They could view you as somebody who loves intensely as well. Maybe they view you as this person, not this person. They could definitely view you as somebody who puts love as a number one priority. Like you're a person who will choose love. So some of you have stopped maybe going out socializing because you have found love here. So people are viewing you as somebody who has brought certain things to an end that may have been creating obstacles in your life, because you have found love, because you are moving into a like high level of commitment here. If that's not resonating, it could be the fact that the Lovers is indicating people view you as somebody who loves quite deeply. You are a person who is on a path trying to find a soulmate, especially after a hectic ending here. But this Ten of Swords, people view you as somebody who feels quite deeply, especially when things end. People might view you as somebody who may hold on to things, or may have had a lot of experiences in romantic endings as well here with the Lovers and the Ten of Swords. For some of you, people could be viewing you as somebody who's just got their head above water here for some reason. You know, maybe you have just came out of a relationship, a toxic one, a karmic one here. So for some of you, people could be viewing you as somebody who's just like treading water and your head is just out of the water. So you are like, in a sense, sinking in emotions. So that's quite a lot of intense energies there that I am feeling. The Chariot kind of gives me the impression she's holding two horses from the game chess, right? Oh, no. Luna. I'm trying to plant catnip and she just jumped in the bucket with all the little seedlings and anyway, there's fucking dirt and seed all over the fucking carpet now, but we'll keep moving. But yeah, so see how she's holding the chess pieces. I feel like people are viewing you as somebody who's being quite strategic, and this kind of comes back into this snake energy. People might be viewing you as the snake in their grass. They could be viewing you as somebody who is got a hidden agenda, a motive, so to speak, in order to maybe find love here, or maybe it's to protect yourself from love. Either way, the Chariot here is telling me that people are viewing you as somebody who's quite strategic. You can work from the light and the dark. You can work with the light and the dark. So there is something kind of uncertain about your energies, how people view you. Like, you know, pile number one, you don't know which way they will go. I think on the outside, you may present yourself to be, you know, very innocent, maybe somebody who doesn't have like a sort of, I don't want to say a toxic side, but a no bullshit side, okay? People might be very misled by your appearance. And I think once people realize, like, maybe once people observe you, how you are being viewed after that point in time is that you are very strategic. You normally have overcome an obstacle before it even unfolds here. Like there's two worlds here. Like she's floating on a magic carpet here. Yeah. So I kind of feel like people could be viewing you as somebody who plays around with magic, dark magic and white magic. And then we have the Nine of Wands here. Like she seems like real on edge, like don't fuck with me or I'll throw some fire at you. So I definitely feel like people are viewing you as they sort of move in. I think the more they observe you and get to know you at the moment, or watching how you're reacting and responding to things, they're realizing you're not to be fucked with. Like that's the kind of energy I get with the Chariot and the Nine of Wands here. There is this side to you that has little to no patience for people who are trying to fuck your shit up or bring endings to you. I think people are viewing you as somebody who has had enough. Don't do it. Don't. Leave the dirt alone. So yeah, that's what I've got for you guys. A little cat obedient conversation and this, yeah. It's like I'm a little bit of light and a little bit of go fuck yourself kind of energy here is how people are viewing you. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Sending much love and light to you at this time. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. In many Eastern religions, the term enlightenment denotes a state of consciousness in which the rational mind is replaced by intuitive insight into the nature of reality. Often it is years of meditation and practice that lead to it. Sometimes it is the result of a spontaneous spiritual upheaval, or aka an awakening. However, it is always connected with a feeling of unity with the whole world, the highest bliss, and awakening from the illusions in which one has been stuck so far. We know the Enlightenment in the West too, the 18th century era of rationality and technological development. In both cases, we are guided by the metaphor of light. This brightness is typical for the dawn of a new day when old ways have a chance of being left behind. So, while our cultures understand developed consciousness differently, the archetype of enlightenment seems to be something universal. It also appears in the language of the Anglo-Saxon rune poem describing the rune Dagaz, meaning day. Day, the glorious light of the Creator is sent by the Lord. It is beloved of men, a source of hope and happiness to rich and poor, and of service to all. What a poem. Okay, I'm not going to sit here, keep reading and reading this, but I would have to say, like, we have enlightenment, hope, and awakening here. I think a lot of you are really staying true to the cause, and the cause being your spiritual journey, your spiritual awakening, your connection with God or the universe, whoever it is, whatever higher power you are drawing upon or connecting to. I think you are trying to live a more pure life. I think you are trying to be more optimistic and have a fresh outlook and more positive energy at this time. And I think it's really working for you in your favor. Like the butterfly is a representation of transformation, right? I would have to say, for those of you who have connected with this pile, like, 23 equates to the number 5, which is all about change. Change can come from upheaval, change can come from conflict, but change can also come from very beautiful experiences as well. So I would have to say the butterfly is already has transformed. So for some of you, I would say your awakenings have already unfolded. You are already enlightened. You are already hopeful about your future and what will unfold for you. If you're not, then I feel like the circle of life is sort of, you're still in that transitional period where you are still navigating like those next steps. Like something's going to come full circle is what I feel. Or maybe your enlightenment has already come full circle. Like your optimism is getting bigger and bigger as the weeks go on. So let's see how people are currently viewing pile 2. No reversals. Okay. So we have the Page of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. So we have fire, air, and earth sign placements. So the Page of Wands is kind of giving me the vibe you're being viewed as somebody who has their focus is very much on fixated on something. Like she has a very confident, stern look about her. So I feel like when I think about the traditional meaning of the Page of Wands, it's about somebody tapping into that creative energy. It's like fleeting romances, somebody being like la-di-da in a way, but she does not look la-di-da. If anything, I kind of probably get more Page of Swords energy from her than Page of Wands. But it could be somebody who is being viewed as a person who's taking their creativity very seriously, somebody who's taking their craft very seriously. Like you, it's sort of like the impression I'm getting is like if you try and like sort of displays, because you are in the state of optimism and you're trying to be optimistic, I feel like if somebody is trying, how you're being viewed, if somebody tries to bring you down, you're kind of stepping into this like Knight of Swords, this very quick-witted energy. Like he looks like he's putting his sword down, but I don't know. I just kind of envision that, like, based off this energy I'm picking up from the Page of Wands, you're not afraid to I don't know, it's sort of like maybe it's a different energy. I kind of feel like you're not afraid to throw down your sword, but at the same time, you're not going to allow somebody to walk all over your craft. You're not going to allow somebody to walk all over what you were trying to build, what you are trying to create for yourself. So it may not even be a craft. It could be like a lifestyle you're trying to create for yourself just by getting up every day and trying to be optimistic when you're surrounded by toxic cunts. That's hard. That is like a whole fucking mission within itself. So that's sort of the vibe I'm picking up here. The Page of Wands is telling me you're being viewed as somebody who's taking something that they're creating quite serious. You might get easily offended if people try and throw shade on that craft. But you are definitely somebody who is taking like leaps of faith, taking risks towards something that people may feel like has something to do with dark energy here, which makes me only think it's witchcraft or something like that. Knight of Swords here, you know, as I've mentioned, it's like this throw down your sword. I kind of feel like people might be viewing you as somebody who will defend themselves to a degree. There could be an area in your life where people are viewing you as somebody who won't talk back to a certain individual. It could be a boss, it could be a parent, it could be partner, a sibling. But this Knight of Swords looks very submissive here, loyal as well. So if you aren't throwing down your sword to somebody, I would say you're being viewed as somebody who is very loyal and who will fight for anyone. You will serve somebody. The fact he is facing the Page of Wands here, people might view you as somebody who is serving your craft, your creativity. You are serving a higher power here. You know, she looks like she's floating around in the ethers, the cosmo here, you know. She's sort of blending in with the forest, and it's just like her head, you know, like the Wizard of Oz, and its head would just come out, the wizard. So yeah, this Knight of Swords sort of shows a very humbling Knight of Swords, as opposed to, you know, a Knight of Swords who kind of comes rushing in and rushing out. He's very much stationed and grounded here. You know, he also looks like he's in a state of deep contemplation or thinking. So people could be viewing you as somebody who is spending more time away from people. Like, none of these environments look like they're in any kind of social scene. I'm just looking at the other cards. None of them really look like it. It's a very different deck. But, you know, if we were to look at this Six of Pentacles, she is sitting on a throne. Naturally, that would mean she is indoors. Okay, but yeah, the Knight of Swords definitely tells me like you could be viewed at the moment as somebody who is being quite recluse with their communication. Knight of Swords is a very communicative card. It's one where, like, you know, the person would be quite talkative. This person does not look talkative. So people could be viewing you as somebody who is not talking about their craft, what they're working on. Like, because the Seven of Pentacles is about somebody working really hard, so hard that they may be putting their body at risk. So people could be viewing you as somebody who is investing all their time and energy into something that could be quite detrimental for the body, because look at her scratching her back. There could be a level of self-harm here, and if there is, please seek the help that you that you may need. Self-harm can come in all shapes and sizes, but that looks pretty full on. So if that is resonating, I'm sorry. But yeah, definitely reach out to someone who can guide you through that time, a professional. But yeah, the Black Swan, right? When we think about that movie, people might be viewing you as somebody who is not talking about something that may have sent you quite mental as well here, just on a side note. But I would have to say with these three cards, you're being viewed as somebody who is, I don't know, being kind of secretive about something you are very focused on and that you have been working on for a while. And this project, this craft could actually be be making people view you as somebody where it's sending you, like, I don't want to say senile, but it's having an effect on you. You know what it could be though, because when we have transformations, people can view our transformation as toxic because they no longer can have access to us. They can no longer use us anymore. Like maybe you're not in this humble energy anymore. Maybe you're more like go fuck yourself kind of energy. Yeah, I feel like with the Seven of Pentacles, people are definitely viewing you as somebody who is very focused on some kind of work. And we do have the Nine of Pentacles here. So, which is all about abundance, right? So the Knight of Pentacles, however, coming from the Seven of Pentacles tells me people are viewing you as somebody who has like this process, this journey has been very slow moving. But see how this guy is down, like he's throwing his sword down, but she has her, is that a flag or a Sith? It's a flag. It's a white flag as well. So I would have to say people could be viewing you as somebody that since maybe you have like thrown down your sword or raised the white flag, you are receiving more abundance for something. Maybe you guys were always operating from a dark energy, from a dark source, and now you're sort of more focused and fixated in taking a different approach. You are more enlightened now. You may be working more with high vibrational energies than low vibrational energies. And because of that, people viewing you as somebody who no longer wants to fight or challenge people anymore. And since then, there is this different energy about you. Nine of Pentacles is obviously baby Empress energy. So people would be seeing that your beauty has changed since this shift. Since you've turned your focus onto something different, there's a lot about you that has changed. You may not be as combative as you used to be. You may not be moving like really quickly, at rapid speed, getting things done. You are moving with elegance. You are moving with like calmness. And because of that, we have the Nine of Pentacles, which tells me people are viewing you as somebody who is highly abundant. There is some newfound level of wealth. You are dressing differently. You smell differently. Like your aesthetics are different. People are definitely viewing this change. Whatever focus you have decided to focus on, or like, I don't know how you would explain that, but I'm interested to know what's going on here because, like, obviously for the collective reading, it's hard to depict. But hopefully this found the right audience, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let me know down in the comments. Did you pick this bison last time it came out to represent a pile? So we've got strength, patience, and vitality. So bisons may seem intimidating and powerful, but a century ago they were on the edge of extinction. People destroyed their habitat and hunted down almost all of them for their fur and their meat. Pretty sure I read this. I would say you guys are very patient and persistent people who calmly endure hardships, knowing that the challenges will benefit them eventually. You have extraordinary level of determination and composure, which, you know, qualities that not only a good athlete or a lumberjack can boast about, but also, for example, a bonsai master who devotes years to shape the tree according to their vision. So I would say those of you who have picked this pile, you are very due diligent. You are people who are probably so experienced in hardships that now when you are faced with them, you just calmly walk through the storm. You don't allow it to like send you on a downward spiral. You're like, cool, this again, right, I know what I got to do. It will pass. You will still feel emotions. You will still feel something. But I do believe for those of you who have picked this pile, your strength and level of patience is at an all-time high. Like, you don't allow hardships to affect your vitality. You stay stern in the eye of the storm. So let's see what we've got here. I feel like people might have tried to put you in a box and they can't. There's just things that you know that other people do not know. How is pile 3 being viewed? Yeah. Jesus. If that wasn't all the hardship cards, I don't know. We don't have the Pentacles there, but isn't that funny? You've got King of Cups and Queen of Cups on the bottom of the card. I would have to say a lot of you could be turned off love at the moment. We do have the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Cups. One message that is coming through is that you are being viewed as a counterpart here. And I think a lot of you could have your walls up when it comes to love here, or at least that's how you're being viewed. Like, she looks like she's in a wedding dress and it's on fucking fire. So it kind of makes me think you're being viewed as somebody who's turned their back on love here. You may look at love as a burden here. You may look at love as like a path, just another path towards you know, your world being turned upside down, or your life being set on fire. 10 of Wands is also a card that will talk about somebody having a lot of responsibility, saying yes to everything, thinking that they can achieve all the goals or the tasks, but then soon gets very overwhelmed. And maybe some people could be being viewed as setting their own life on fire because you haven't learned how to say no yet. Okay, you take on more than you can chew is what I'm hearing. But I think for the vast majority of you here, the 10 of Wands is definitely giving me the impression that a lot of your hardships have come from love. I think a lot of people try and set your world on fire probably the wrong way, or have tried to set your world on fire the wrong way here. It's sort of like she's even kind of given up here. Like, she's not even trying to run away from the fire. So people could be viewing you like kind of coming back to that bison energy. Like, you calmly endure hardships. Like, you will happily stand in the fire now because you're so used to the fire happening. Is how you could be being viewed there with the 10 of Wands. The 5 of Swords is, she looks like she's ready to fight though. So it's very opposite energy from that energy. Maybe people view you as somebody, like, when it comes to love, like you've given up some kind of hope. But if people try and attack you and your character, I feel like the 5 of Swords indicates people view you as somebody who will be quite combative. Like, that looks like a fucking stake. So I don't know, maybe you're hanging out with energy vampires here. People might be viewing you as somebody where in some areas of your life you've just sort of given up hope. In other areas of life you have not. Like, 5 of Swords would talk about Swords energy talks about intelligence and the mind, communication. So I would have to say people might be viewing you as somebody where you were still very combative when your intelligence is on the chopping block here. You may not be I just feel like you don't fight for love, but you definitely fight for, like, maybe your independence and your reputation and your personal brand here. It's very different kind of energy here. People might view you as somebody who's still getting over a burden that had to do with maybe a wedding day, a divorce here. But maybe if people try and bring this up, you get on your, like, you get your back up. You know, the Five of Swords is one that will talk about arguments and tension and somebody having a disagreement. So you could be being viewed as somebody who's having a lot of disagreements in their marriage. There's a lot of burdens happening in your current relationships here. And Five of Cups tells me you are being viewed as somebody who is experiencing some kind of loss or grief. We do have a ship in the background here. Some of you could resonate with being a mermaid. People might view you as a mermaid, somebody who has strong affiliation with the water. But yeah, I feel like something has left your life, maybe because you created the conflict, or maybe that person created a lot of conflict. But I would have to say you are being viewed as somebody who is going through some kind of hardship at this time. But you might not actually see it, you know, with the Queen of Pentacles here. I don't know, this deck kind of reminds me of that show, what is it? You know, with like, I forget what it's called. It's not, only came out not that long ago, but Betty, she looks like Betty. But yeah, I feel like with this Five of Cups, you're being viewed as somebody who is watching something walk out of your life. Like your energy is up and down. Maybe one day, like you are sort of very reserved. Other days you are very combative, and other days you are in a very sad, low vibrational energy here. Other people could be being viewed like with the Five of Cups. You've had a lot of people leave your life. There's been a lot of loss, a lot of grief, a lot of separation. Some of you could be going through a separation here. So that's sort of like, you're probably thinking, fuck, this is negative as fuck. But then we have Queen of Pentacles, King of Cups. These are high vibrational energies to be viewed as. To be viewed as the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like based off this energy, like you're going through all of this, yet you still remain poised. You still remain in your power. You still remain like graceful and like you've got your shit together. So although people are viewing you in this energy, it's hard to depict that when you're standing here looking like these two individuals. Like, I think people view you as somebody who's gone through a lot of hardships, but it has not created financial instability. It has not created an emotional instability, right? It's still kept you grounded. You're a person who has a lot of stories and experiences that have not been favorable, but it has not altered how you treat people, is how people view you. It has not altered your future. It has not altered like your future prospects either, because you haven't allowed it to turn you into like this nasty cunt. Okay. I think you're a person who knows how to hold their own, is how people view you. You're definitely a person who has a lot of material items and a material wealth that's been all self-made. You may have had a lot of people take from you financially, like material objects, but they've never taken like your soul. They've never taken like your humanity, is what I'm hearing. So although there is this energy here, pile 3, people are still very much viewing you in a very high regard with the Queen of Pentacles. You'd be being viewed here as somebody who's very graceful, very loyal and loving as well, but also very practical. So I feel like you could be being viewed as somebody who's not just handing over the key to your heart. You're somebody who's using discernment quite well now. You're somebody who is sort of waiting to find the right person. Maybe if you are single, you're a person who's trying to find your match on an emotional level as opposed to a financial one here. People could be viewing you as somebody who already has it all. So now you're looking for a lover, not a financial provider here as well. Because the King of Cups people, I would say, they're not money focused. So we kind of have the yin and the yang here. They're more about providing emotional well-being as opposed to financial. There are also people who don't tend to have a fuck ton of money. So because we have the Queen of Pentacles with the King of Cups, people might view you as somebody who kind of looks like they don't have a ton of money, but does, or you do look like you have a ton of money, but in fact you don't. So take that as it resonates. So Yeah, that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know down in the comments if that resonated. It's obviously a different one, but I'll see you next time. Bye.